Welcome back to Real Phonies, where we take a love for movies and television and combine it with very little knowledge about movies and television. I'm your host, Christian. Joined with me are my co-host, Ian.
Hey.
Joseph.
Yellow.
Jehu.
Cacao!
Back again to discuss I'm assuming we're all in agreement, probably the most adapted author of all time.
I can't think of anybody who would even come close.
Yeah.
Nicholas Spark.
Fair.
But I mean, again, that's only been in the last, 15
No.
years.
He's definitely, Stephen King's definitely the best.
Stephen King, local Maine resident.
Yeah.
All of his books are in Maine, so I'm assuming he lives there. He's made a lot of stuff, guys.
Yep.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of it he's actually made, hard to say.
Well, I mean, growing up a little older than you guys, I was there for, the first craze of Stephen King. And it was late 80s, early 90s, he was the fucking author.
Yeah.
Everybody read Stephen King. In my early ventures in, liking girls, I could remember, I've always been very bad at picking out cues of whether or not girls like me, but I can remember if a girl was like, hey, you want to read my Stephen King book? I'm like, yeah, I want to read your Stephen King book. It was like the first clear clue I picked up on. So he was a big deal during that time, and that's when they crapped out a lot of these movies.
Very timely. There's a lot of King adaptations that have come out in the last few years.
Yeah.
A lot more coming.
It Chapter 2 is 2 weeks out.
Yep.
What caused the resurgence? What brought him back? Because he was already sort of back when it hit. That just blew it up.
I think it definitely kicked it into gear.
Yeah.
But
That's an interesting question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I think we just touched on exactly why. We were in an 80s revival. I think people were remaking classic 80 films, and then it's just one of those properties, an idea that the idea is, in my opinion, more interesting than the movie. I remember being in middle school and talking about, there's this crazy fucking clown that kills people that's also a giant fucking spider. And then they took that concept and turned it actually into a solid movie.
Well, I think a lot of it might have to do with that whole, and I hate this term, but mystery box form of storytelling. That's Stephen King books. All of his books are something is not what it seems.
Oh, 100% JJ claims that he took it from Stephen King.
Also, for someone who hates the mystery box, I'm pretty sure you bring it up every single time we talk about it.
I always bring up the shit I don't like. Except for when I bring up David Bowie's dog. I love that. But most of the stuff I bring up I don't
Two
like.
for two. Yeah. I mean, and, it's appropriate. Even though it's hot as hell here, we are almost to fall. The pumpkin spice lattes are back.
Right.
Yep. Horror movies are coming into the theaters. Yep. So, we're on
the
brand
leaves are
here.
falling.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Well, they are because global warming's killing our trees.
Right. They're falling on the other end.
Yeah.
They're being fucking baked
The
off.
not good way. I think we're going to break this down into two categories, like horror movies and non-horror movies.
Yeah, I think we're going to do kind of a
and we're not hitting on every property.
Yeah, this is a sporadic smattering of Stephen
the most
King
popular
ones. Because otherwise I would have to edit all week and next week
Right.
because there's too many fucking
And
things.
I don't think even just going by having one of us watch it, I don't think we've watched all the movies.
No, it'd be impossible.
No.
Yeah.
And
I don't think anyone in the world has watched all Stephen King movies.
I bet Stephen King is.
Yeah, I'm sure there's at least 6, I'm betting.
Yeah. But I think we should start with the one that kicked it off in the first place, which is Carrie from 1976, which is before all of us were born.
Not before all of us.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But I love this movie. I think it's Brian De Palma.
Yeah, that's correct.
In a strange way, it reminds me of Batman 66. In that when you watch it when you're young, it's just dead serious. And when you watch as an adult, you can enjoy it more from a comedy standpoint.
Really?
And I'm not. The last time I watched it, I found it to be really funny and it's
Interesting. Yeah, I remember watching this when I was in middle school, and it was frightening.
Yeah,
but
it's very relatable when you're in middle
right. But
school.
that's the thing. You're seeing it through middle school eyes. So
I tell you something else that I fucking love about it, probably more than anything. I can't remember the actress name, but John Travolta and the other chick who are the bullies.
Yeah,
they are so fucking mean. So many bullies in movies. I don't know, like Johnny from The Karate Kid or Morris Day in Purple Rain. They have something that they can be redeemed for about. You can I can kind of see where they're coming from. But not these guys. They're just assholes wall to wall. I'm so fucking glad when they get their comeuppance.
Oh, 100%. The end of this movie is not even sad or scary as much as you feel like it's just totally earned and deserved.
Payback.
It's cathartic. It's
Yeah.
And I mean, definitely, it was the biggest orgy of violence I had seen up into that.
That's fair.
So yeah, for those who are unfamiliar, this movie is about a young, awkward high school girl who has just a terrible, terrible high school experience. And,
Well, not just high school experience. Her home life is also
Her home
awful.
life.
and also a very scary mother.
Yeah. Who's really kind of the scariest part of the movie.
Yeah,
Very much.
You know, spoiler alert for this too. Really excited when she dies. Very happy when she dies.
And if you guys haven't seen the old one, it was remade a few years ago with Jodie Foster and
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yep.
Which was not as good.
The original's way better.
Yes.
Sissy Spacek is so fucking great
Yeah.
in this. You know, this in Coal Miner's Daughter, Sissy Spacek just owned the fucking seven. And everybody's really good in it. William Catt, who's rocked that fucking blonde perm for 40-odd years. You know, he's good at it. Everybody in it's really good. I love this movie.
It's better than Transformers.
Definitely
Yeah.
better. It's an easy watch, too. It's short, which I like. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
It definitely is not only just being the first of the Stephen King adaptations, it helps you understand why it became such a craze.
Yeah,
which
for
is
sure.
These stories translated well
Right.
to screen. And that trend continued for a while. It took a dip for a while, too,
Yeah.
but
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
So one of probably if there's a most acclaimed, actually it's not true. Probably the most popular among cinephiles anyway is the Stanley Kubrick adaptation of The Shining from 1980.
Probably the most acclaimed of his horror movies.
Yeah.
Shawshank might be a little better.
We'll get to that.
I prefer The Shining to Shawshank.
I also prefer the Shining to Shawshank. I think it's a better movie.
We'll figure it out. We'll pick our best one.
This movie is so terrifying.
Yes.
Like, just in ways that aren't even just terrifying. Just the background noise.
Yeah.
The hum that changes between scenes scares the shit out of me.
Just the scenery, like
Yeah,
the ominous, like
Dude,
uses-
the carpet is scary.
It uses the space so well. Like
Yeah.
everything feels so empty and ominous
And
at the
big.
same time. Yeah.
yeah.
Here's
It's
my
a great movie.
Here's my The Shining story.
Wait, is this the Shining story?
Yeah, the Shining story. I'm like 7 years old, right? And Hazard, Kentucky had just fucking gotten cable. Which, by the way, I would move from there to Milton, Florida, and then it wouldn't get cable a fucking decade later. So I just had the worst luck. I mean, this was way after civilization had cable.
Yeah.
But at this point, I lived in a house that was right behind a house where my older cousin lived, and right behind another house where my younger cousin lived. My older cousin, he was like late middle school, and I was still just like a fucking kid. But anyways, we all knew that we had all just gotten the movie channel, so everybody was always watching that, except for when like Bozo was on, WGN or something. So I'm left alone, 7 years old, watching the fucking Shining,
Oh God.
and I hear a knock at the fucking door. And I open it up, and it's right after this scene has occurred. And there's my cousin Stevie with an axe going, "Here's Johnny!" and scared the shit out of me. I still am scared of this movie more from that than from the actual movie.
That's hilarious.
Jack Nicholson's great.
Jack Nicholson's
Did he get
so
an Oscar
fucking good.
nomination in this?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember
Should
if
have.
this or...
I'll look that up while you guys can.
However good anyone else in this movie is, Shelley Duvall is fucking incredible in
She
this movie.
goes hard.
Yeah.
She is, but I mean, it's so. If you read anything about that, it's
Yeah,
so fucking depressing.
It is really fun.
Yeah.
They just terrorized
Stanley
her.
Kubrick did not believe in acting. He just believed in terrorizing his
Right.
actresses to the point where they were just
Actually scared.
They were actually scared. Yeah.
But there's one scene where she's like up against the wall, like stretched out with her like eyelids over the top of her fucking head, screaming, and that's just real fucking life,
Yeah.
The beauty of I think this story and what's particularly the way that it's done in the movie is I feel like for us at this point I knew about The Shining before I saw The Shining, and even still watching the movie from the beginning, it's just a normal family drama about like a family going out to a place for a job,
Right.
and an aspiring writer trying to write his novel, and so that whole progress of the descent into madness, like it doesn't feel destined. It feels like, oh, maybe he's just stressed, maybe he just needs another second. And Shelley Duvall is definitely playing like I don't know. I love this man. He's my husband.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand by him. And so, I don't know. She ignores red flags, and you kind of ignore the red flags too as you're going. You're like, oh, it's maybe not as bad as it looks. You don't know about his fucking conversation with ghost bartenders. And I don't know. I just think for something that could be really, really heavy-handed about the way that you have this psychotic dad, that's, I don't feel like it plays that way. I think it plays very much like it feels like a real relationship. It feels like a real family, and it feels like Shelley Wall is just trying to keep the pieces together.
Yeah.
And just does not understand the descent that her husband has gone into.
And man, all three of the characters can really hook you in depending on
Absolutely, yeah.
when you're a little kid watching this, it ties right into, oh shit, if something went wrong with my parents, you're not safe. There's nothing to help you. And I'm sure if you're a woman watching this, it's fucking scary as shit. What if my relationship went this fucking wrong? And if you're a grown dude watching it and, shit's not going great for you, you can say, yeah, I can see how this could go down.
Yeah. One thing I love about this movie that we haven't really talked about that, I will say I think I probably have a top two of, world building.
Right.
Number one would be Full Metal Alchemist. Number two is The Shining, in that it introduces so many things and establishes this world with which you live in, which is fictional. It feels real, and we're talking about this descent into madness, but there's weird shit going on that you want to see more of, but is also such a good taste that you don't. It doesn't distract you from the story with which you're supposed to follow. It's just really good at establishing this environment with which this story lives in.
Bunch of iconic scenes, like you mentioned, the one with the axe, also the elevator with the blood.
Great scene.
Just things that are
the maze at the
maze.
end.
Yeah, Hall of Fame movie scenes. Everyone knows them.
Stephen King famously hates it.
He hates the shit out of this movie.
He remade it in the 90s as a miniseries. I've never watched that because I understand the miniseries is probably more accurate to the book, but I don't give a shit. I love this movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, this is the greatest of all time movie to me.
Yeah.
So I really thought The Running Man was going to be before Stand By Me, but I looked it up. But
the thing is, right here's where we hit. Stephen King becomes a fucking thing at this time
after Shining,
and they just start crapping him out.
Yep.
The Cujo, Christine, The First Pet Cemetery, Children of the Corn.
That's the one.
They're just. There's a feeding frenzy to adapt. And some of those, I say crap, and some of them are fun movies. I think The First Pet Cemetery is a fun movie.
Yeah.
I think Cujo's a fun movie.
I mean, a lot of them, even if you're saying that the crap ones are still considered pretty iconic horror movies.
Right. Well, definitely. I had moved to Florida by the time Cujo came out.
I'm sorry.
And I grew up in a neighborhood there where there were 7 free roaming St. Bernards.
Oh, jeez.
So that shit terrified me. And those St. Bernards, which should not have been in Florida, were pissed off all the fucking time. So, it was terrifying. But yeah, the next one that comes out that I really fucking care about is The Running Man. I think this one was one of the Bachman books. He wrote some books under a pseudonym, Richard Bachman, and I think this was one of them.
I don't know for sure.
Stars Arnold.
I fucking love this movie.
What is this movie about?
This movie is, first of all, it's either Harlan Ellison or fucking Ray Bradbury, one of those science fiction novels who could write 4 full novels a year, wanted science fiction to instead be referred to as speculative fiction. This is the most accurate piece of speculative fiction ever. We haven't gotten to Star Trek, and we're never fucking gonna. We probably will get to Terminator, but we're not on the timetable yet. But we're 4 bad days from being Running Man. That shit could happen anytime. And some of it, we might even be ahead of the game. Because I don't think necessarily the Richard Dawson character is Trump, but I definitely think he worked on the campaign. Okay, it's about in the future... or I guess would be about now in the timetable. There's a game show where criminals can earn their freedom by running this death maze where they fight these sort of end bosses who if they can get past them, they earn their freedom. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think if I remember correctly, is wrongly accused. He gets bunched in with some revolutionaries that he's not actually a part of, but then becomes interested in their cause and stuff like that. It's just fucking great.
Very 80s.
I think it's like a lot of the movies that are more well remembered from the time, like then are in the same sort of R-rated sci-fi drama. RoboCop. What was the other Schwarzenegger movie? The one on Mars. Get Your Ass to Mars.
Shit.
Total Recall.
Yeah, Total Recall. Yeah.
For some reason, those are remembered better. And I think this is a way better movie.
Yeah, Running Man doesn't get. You're right. It doesn't get a lot of play compared to some of his other ones, but I think it's better than.
And Richard Dawson is so fucking good as a villain. Like top 10 screen villains ever. He just walked off the set of the fucking Family Feud and just comes over and plays the most evil fucking guy on earth.
He's kind of a slimy guy.
Yeah,
to begin
totally.
with, but yeah. What's next, Joseph?
Oh, one more thing about this. Also, they predicted deepfake technology in this.
They did.
Yeah,
That's
it's
true.
a major plot point.
Is this movie better than Transformers?
This movie is so much better than Transformers. Also, Arnold kind of acts in this. It's the closest he comes to acting.
It
in
is.
the 80s.
I think it's an underrated movie.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once, but I've never seen it. Go figure.
Nothing before 90.
Surprisingly,
Except The Shining.
Surprisingly, I know that was an effort for me. Surprisingly, I really thought Stand By Me was like really late 80s, early 90s, but it was 86. It actually came out before Running Man.
I mean, everyone's very young in that movie.
Yeah, I guess that is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of the very notable, notable until the next couple ones we do, non-horror stories that got adapted from Stephen King's works. Stand By Me. It's about 4 kids just roaming around unsupervised.
Hey, you want to go see a dead body?
That's all you need. That's it.
The name of the story it's based on is called The Body,
Yeah.
which is a great name.
Right.
Great cast.
Great cast.
Fun movie. The leech part still gets me this day. Makes me uncomfortable. I won't get in lakes because of it.
You know, it really, Stephen King was more known as a horror novelist before this. This became the thing where when this came out, it became that when they did an adaptation of a non-horror movie of his, it was always better.
Yeah.
Like his movies, the ones that translate better into movies are the non-horror
Yeah.
movies, and this is the first example.
And that trend doesn't really end.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, they're all good.
But yeah, this is a really good movie. The train tracks, all of it.
Even though it has Wesley in it.
It does have Wesley's good in it.
He is pretty good in it.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
This is one I have not seen.
I
You think it holds up
You've
still?
never seen Stand By Me?
It's one of those things. I wonder how like these style of movies track about. I mean, kind of Stranger Things is kind of included in this, but
Right.
about like kids just fucking roaming around the earth with nobody watching them.
Right.
Because
I would say this movie holds up better than like The Breakfast Club.
It's more timeless.
It's
definitely.
more timeless. Like everyone, even like you're talking about roaming the earth.
Yeah.
Like I remember being a kid, and maybe we didn't have as wide of a radius as the kids in Stand By Me have. But like, you know, on my street, in my neighborhood, my block, like. Yeah, me and my friends just roaming around, seeing what trouble we could find. We never found a dead body.
Right.
But, I mean, I felt very relatable to
Yeah.
me. And it's just, I think the story holds up well. The acting is good. Beautiful scenery. And I feel like there have been attempts at this kind of movie since then, and they never can live up to the standard.
No, totally. It became like a big fat fucking genre for a while, and none of them lived up to that.
But there's a whole sequence where they run into like the neighborhood bully. And does he have
Right.
like a knife or a gun?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's more fucking terrifying than most of the other shit that's in his movies because that's got to be the most identifiable shit.
That shit was really terrifying to me because that's what growing up in East Milton was like when I was growing up. in
I
East
fully believe that.
Like, like kids would just have, like giant hunting knives they'd pull out on you and like, hey, I've got my dad's gun and shit like that. It's a really weird time. So that part of it's like, oh yeah, that's real life. That's scary as shit.
Yeah. I really recommend this movie. You guys should watch it.
I don't watch anything before 1990. It's just a thing. I'm sorry. So that brings us to what is technically Stephen King's most acclaimed adaptation. It is number 1 on the IMDb top 250. It doesn't matter what it be the top anything because it's the top. It is the very tippy top. Shawshank Redemption.
Overrated.
Overrated. Tim Robbins.
You guys are blasphemous.
Probably
Morgan Freeman.
Probably the last time Morgan Freeman almost acted.
Right. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, he's only been playing this character ever since.
Ever
this
since.
movie.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. He's like, this is the
is
bank.
it. This is me.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins, I'm sorry, not that good. It's a good story, and I like this movie when it came out. I realize there's some uproar that it may be better than Forrest Gump. That is a bullshit argument. Forrest Gump definitely deserved to win the Oscar.
Oh,
that
absolutely.
year.
I don't know. It's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, no, it is.
yeah,
It is good.
It's really
good.
good.
It's just not the best movie of all
No,
time.
I mean that's subjective, but
It
it's
is.
fucking good.
It is my clincher for whenever I'm trying to make the argument that 1994 was the best year for movies.
Oh, it was a great year for
Because
movies.
I'll always start with the rule of threes. I'll go, what came out in 1994? Pulp Fiction, Lion King, Forrest Gump. What do you got? What 3 movies are going to beat that? Okay, what else? Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
Once you get to that, nobody can beat that. Nobody can think of 4 movies that came out in 1 year that are
Yeah,
better.
no, I mean, it's a great year for movies.
I mean, objectively, from all genres, it is
Yeah.
possibly the best year for movies.
I just think I watched it too much on TBS growing up.
It's funny because this is one that I actually only watched recently. But the problem with all of these things, every one of these Stephen King adaptations, is I know all the beats because they've been parodied on every
Right.
other thing I've ever watched
Yeah.
in my life. So by the time I watched this, I had seen it on Family Guy and on other smaller cartoons and sitcoms throughout my life. So it was still an enjoyable movie, but no part of it felt novel to me. Also,
Yeah.
Tim Robbins is worse than Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
Well, you're right though. It was on TV a lot when I was growing up. Like I watch this movie a lot, but I do enjoy it. But it's definitely I've seen it.
So
probably
was
way too
Stephen
many
King
times.
terrorized as a kid? Because he's really good at writing authority figures that are just fucking awful.
Oh, that's the best part of
the
this movie.
Warden
Oh,
yeah.
and fucking
great.
Clancy Brown.
But Clancy
and
Brown's in this
Scrooge.
movie.
Yeah.
I love Clancy Brown.
They're so fucking terrifying.
I
They're so
love
awful.
the Warden in
Yeah,
this
no,
movie.
he's great. That guy was in everything for a while.
He
and
was.
Last time I saw him in was like fucking Daredevil.
I don't even know his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
For those who don't know, this is a movie about going to prison and then getting out of prison.
Yeah, we didn't
That's
even
it.
that's it. That's what the movie's about.
Pretty much prison life.
Yeah.
And he claims to be innocent, but he's not.
Really? You don't believe he's innocent?
No.
Right on. I've never even heard that supposed that he wasn't innocent.
I don't believe he is.
He's just such a boring character. I don't give a fuck if he killed him or not. So that brings us to the other Frank Darabont. So Shawshank Redemption, directed by Frank Darabont, famous probably most recently for starting the Walking Dead series, which is somehow still going on.
Right.
And then suing about it because they cut him out.
You know, I was just thinking about that. Isn't it kind of wrong that he left the show at the season where they went to the prison when he made 2 of the
Right.
best prison movies of all
Right.
time?
Yep.
I almost think he took it on just so he could get
It seems
to that.
like he
Yeah.
did. I don't know. Anyway, that brings us to the
That is
movie.
an interesting thought. Never thought about it like that.
The movie that I watched about a bazillion times on cable, The Green Mile. Probably Michael. I mean, I like Michael Clark Duncan in a lot of stuff, but this is the role he was fucking born to play.
Yep.
Oh, agreed. Yeah.
I got Tom Hanks. We got that other guy who's in all Frank Darabont movies, who I don't know his fucking name, but he's got a lot of eyebrows. We got
The other guard you're talking about.
yeah, we got Sam Rockwell. We got that tall guy. What's his name?
Sam Rockwell's so great.
Sam Rockwell
Sam
is.
was great.
Yeah.
Michael Clark Duncan.
No, the white guy, the
I know.
warden. Shit.
And we got that
God.
creepy guy
Oh,
from
my
Lost
God.
who married a 16-year-old.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Well, you know
He was
what?
also
James
he was also
Cromwell?
Tombs
James
on-
Cromwell. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy that
I forgot about that shit.
Yeah.
God, that guy.
Yeah, he's like the worst guy in this
Percy.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's even worse than Sam Rockwell.
He is worse than Sam
Yeah.
Rockwell.
Horace, was that his name in
Yeah.
Lost?
yeah, Horace on Lost. Yeah,
And this
He's-
is also a prison. Tom Hanks plays a guard, and Michael Clark Duncan's on death row. And you find out, Michael Clark Duncan's kind of like an angel, sort of.
He's got
Special
healing
powers. They don't
yeah.
really clarify exactly what he is, and kind of changes Tom Hanks' life. And it's a feel-good story, but
I mean,
kinda
it's
sad.
At parts, at parts.
It's,
Also, Gary Sinise's one fucking scene encapsulates Southern racism better than any scene in any movie ever.
Gary Sinise is good.
God, it's a great movie.
It's a really one of the things I really like about this movie is they do such a good job of. I mean, Michael Clark Duncan was in real life a really large man,
Right.
Yeah.
But they make him seem inhumanly large.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, he died early of an overlarge heart, I think.
did he?
Yeah.
I mean,
he
it
did.
makes sense.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a big man. But yeah, I mean, this movie, it's about prison, it's about death row, it's about faith
Life.
and friendship. It is also mostly about racism.
Yeah,
Yeah. God, I forgot about Sam Rockwell
For,
in that movie. He's
Mr.
fucking
Jingles.
yes,
Oh,
the
yeah.
mouse.
There was a stretch there, which we talk so much about Tom Hanks like being on his peak, like in the mid '90s with like Forrest Gump, Castaway, and all that. But this like Green Mile Road to Perdition time of Tom Hanks, I'm a real big fan of that
totally.
period.
God, he's pretty solid. We should do a best performance on Tom Hanks.
It would be difficult.
It would be difficult.
We haven't done that. No.
Can we just do Tom Hanks's best attempt at an accent? I love you, Tom Hanks.
I think Tom Hanks's best sad face, I think, is what we should do.
Okay.
Not the overall performance, just which movie he makes the best sad face.
It may be the Green Mile.
It probably
actually.
is the Green Mile.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Yeah, this movie is way better than Transformers.
Yeah.
Just talking about it makes me want to watch it again.
I think all these movies have been better than Transformers so far.
It's one of those.
Well,
that
we
whenever,
were choosy.
We were.
Yeah, we didn't. We basically didn't talk about any of the shitty ones. And if we want to talk about the two pet cemeteries, I can talk about both of them being worth the Transformers, even though I enjoy watching the first one.
So that brings us to another. I intentionally did this. Another Frank Darabont directed vehicle, The Mist.
I fucking love this movie.
I fucking love
Which
this.
is, well, you guys can tell us what the plot is, but it's also famous for Stephen King liking the ending of this movie better than he likes his own ending.
Yeah, it's because it's a better ending.
It is.
So what is the plot of this film?
There is a mist,
There is a mist.
and there's a group of people trapped inside of a grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
and they were wondering what is going on outside in the mist.
Some serious religious overtones in
Some
this story.
hot political overtones.
Yeah.
It's, again, from the guy who wrote or made the Walking Dead series, it kind of feels like a Walking Dead episode, but just with a different premise.
And just
That's true.
way fucking better.
Yeah.
Great cast.
Great cast.
All the people are used really well.
Maybe the best Thomas Jane has been in anything that isn't Deep Blue Sea.
I'm going to say not a high bar to clear, but fair enough.
Are you forgetting about the Punisher?
What?
Are you forgetting about the Punisher?
I'm definitely on purpose forgetting that.
I like the Punisher
Me
movie
too.
a lot, but Thomas Jane does not act in that movie.
I like
That's
the
the
Ray
one with John
Stevenson one
Travolta,
better.
right?
I agree.
Yes.
On this, while we're on this note, have you guys ever watched Dirty Laundry?
Oh yeah, that's fucking great.
That's the best
Him
version.
as the Punisher, and that he's the best. That might be his best performance.
Agreed. But this movie is about like just the dad trying to save his son.
Yeah.
At its core, and things go horribly wrong.
He goes.
at the,
Who is the lady who's his main rival in the grocery store?
I'm trying to think of her.
because she is so fucking good.
She is
I
super
just want
good.
to crawl through the screen and punch her in the fucking nose.
Yeah, she is great. Man, I love this movie. Famously, the ending changes with spoilers. Thomas Jane basically being the only person that survives.
Right.
And he
Not-
steps out of the car.
Well, hang on. Not just the only one that survives.
There's a gun with only 3 bullets.
I didn't
right?
want to say how everybody else died.
Because it's important to why the ending is impactful. It's one thing if he works hard and everybody else just happens to die.
There are giant monsters in the midst.
Right.
We didn't
It's,
say
yeah,
that.
it's not like the ending to like the Perfect Storm where they just all die after
Right.
trying hard.
And it's peaceful.
But they reach a point where they think there's no hope of escape, there's no hope of survival, and they'd rather go out on their own terms
Then be eaten.
than be eaten. And so, yeah, Thomas Jane uses the 3 bullets to kill the 3 remaining other people besides himself, including his son.
They're in a car and they're
Yeah.
trying to escape. Yeah.
And then he gets out of the car to just face the monsters. Like, fuck it, here I go. And there's the U.S. fucking military clearing it
as
all
the
out.
mist is clearing,
Yeah.
it's
such a. I mean, this term gets thrown around a lot, but that's the most gut punch ending to a
Yeah.
movie I've ever
No,
seen.
100%.
I was like, what did you just fucking do to me?
spoiler alert.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love how strongly I felt about it
Yeah.
at the time.
How does the book end?
I think they live. I think him and the boy both live.
Okay,
in it.
okay.
They get away.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, no, it's way better. Definitely better than Transformers. And they made a TV version not too long ago, but I believe it got canceled before it got finished, and I never watched it.
I didn't watch it.
Also, strangely, I believe the TV version is probably more adult than the film version
Right.
is.
Interesting.
I remember the trailers being like very graphic for it.
Yeah.
By the way, people should watch.
Yeah, I'd
this.
highly recommend it.
So one of the main reasons we got into this episode in the first place is because we are a bit in a second Stephen King renaissance here. I use the word renaissance too much. I'll come up with another word. Kind of as you mentioned, Hurt, it was kind of on its way, but definitely solidified by the new It movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Which the sequel is coming out relatively soon.
2
yeah?
weeks,
2
yeah.
weeks. Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about that one. It is to me, it's funny because it's definitely on the horror list, and by its premise, I think it should be more of a horror movie than it is. But this is like the best Stand By Me sequel.
It's the most hits all of Stephen King's beats. It's the horror, it's the coming of age, it's the awful fucking bullies. It just like...
He just makes being a child seem so fucking scary.
He had a bad childhood.
Yeah, I mean, if you were just going to say, hey, you're just going to do one Stephen King thing, I think this would be your prime.
Yep.
They made
Tim Curry is fucking frightening.
we were talking about the new
We're
one.
doing
but
the new
yes,
one.
in the original.
Fuck the new one. We should
You don't like the new one?
I mean, it's okay. The old one's way better.
See,
I think.
Okay, the old one, Tim Curry rules, but
Yes.
the rest of that movie is pretty hard to watch.
I would agree with that.
Tim Curry's
Tim
great.
Curry is great.
Yeah. He scared the shit
As
out of me when I was a
Pennywise.
kid.
Do you know what I hate about that movie?
But Jim Bob is no good.
Where the TV movie is the only thing they could think of to replace saying a character is gay, because I guess they couldn't say a character was gay, was his big admission was, I'm a virgin. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I think that's how it went. That's how I remember it. I haven't watched that since it was on VHS.
I was gonna say the new one makes a really great distinction, and I realized this was like studio bullshit, so they could get a sequel. But it's a very long book, and it's a book that's really 2 books.
Yeah.
So choosing to make just the first half
And it has a great break point. It actually makes total sense.
really worked out well. The cast is great. All those kids are good.
Yeah, I know. I don't hate the kids, which
Yeah.
is, a feat in itself.
Yep.
And I think the Skarsgård dude does a pretty good job as
Yeah.
Pennywise.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that one's okay, but I think I like the original more. But you're right, it's good that they broke it up, and it's different. They're differentiating because they're making it 2 separate movies.
Man, that bit in that like old abandoned house is like such a good like I'm going to take all your fears about going in a fake bullshit haunted house and then like make them real. You visualize.
To me, that haunted house scene is like Final Destination for little kids.
Yeah.
Whereas Final Destination is preying on kind of like your I don't know if adult fears is the right, but
Getting hit by a log off a log truck.
right, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like that scary fucking house that everyone has somewhere outside of their neighborhood. You've thought about what the fuck is in that house, but that sequence is everything that you could have imagined, like the worst possible scenario being.
I love too that in the middle of this, nice little family town in Maine, there's like the Addams family house. It's just
I know,
plopped
right?
right down in the middle.
Right.
Of
Look, these guys, they don't seem to be very perceptive.
No.
There's
Well, I think they're perspective. They just ignore it.
yeah.
I'm excited for the second one.
Good cast.
Good cast. Andy Muschietti, I think, proved himself with the first one.
Yeah.
James McAvoy, Bill Hader, and Jessica Chastain.
Yep.
And
Isaiah Mustafason. Is that how you say that guy's name?
I may try to watch that with like a crowd, like opening night. That might be fun.
yeah, the trailers have looked good. Yeah, I wish I would have watched the remake before this because I started to, but I fell asleep. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
I think there's more coming out soon, but I don't know. I think there's a TV version of The Stand.
Yeah, The Stand is my favorite of his books, and the TV miniseries, I personally will say that it's better than Transformers, even though objectively I know that it's not. But it does have a really good big cast, and I would like to see it done better.
Yeah. I know there's plenty of bunch more works on the way, but I don't remember what they all are. Dr. Sleep coming out.
Yeah, Dr.
later.
Sleep, sequel to
Yeah.
The Shining that no one asked
In
for.
November.
But
Yeah, I don't know. The trailer looked pretty good, and
Yeah.
I know people who are big fans of the book.
yeah.
So
I see it, and that's to me what you said about The Shining is one of the things that I think. Not that this movie can take away from The Shining, but I think one of the things that makes the cool things in that universe cool is that you don't flesh them out. There's a lot of wonder left to be explored, and your mind gets to explore it. And so and maybe they will handle it well, but to me, leaving the whole concept of The Shining ambiguous makes it more interesting to me.
yeah,
See, our world now, everything has to have like a neat little bow around it.
Yeah, I don't-
And that's
I don't
why
want-
this
I
movie's
don't
coming.
wanna
Like, we don't need this.
I don't
You're
want
right.
an origin story for The Shining.
Yep, and that's what this will probably be.
yeah. I haven't read the book, so I don't know what it is. But I would be okay if we don't get an explanation. I'm fine seeing another story in that world.
Yeah.
I think, but I agree with you. Like, don't give me more than I want.
So
Definitely, I mean, I can't speak for the book, but in the original movie, the Shining part of it was sort of the least interesting.
no,
part.
it is, but that's one of the cool things
Yeah.
is that you take literal fucking psychic powers
Right.
and make that the least interesting
Right,
part of the book.
right.
That's fucking cool.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway. So that's you probably cherry-picked good parts of Stephen King.
Right.
Maybe one day we'll do the worst of Stephen King.
That's part 2.
Yeah, that's
If we
part
ever
2.
get
I was
to
about
it.
to say, this is the most positive we've ever been on one of these things, and I think it's just because we only picked the good shit.
Yep.
Yeah. picked 8 movies we all like. So
Everything's better than Transformers.
All of them.
One of them is the best movie of all time, according to a couple 100,000 assholes on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one I liked out of all those the most. I think you might have swayed me on The Shining.
It's The
but
Shining.
Then Green Mile's good, too.
Oh, yeah. Look, the Green Mile I could watch literally anytime.
Yeah, I think I can rewatch that more than Shawshank, so I got to reassess what I was thinking.
But The Shining is the better movie, I think.
yeah, I'm going to go with the ones we talked about. The Shining is probably my favorite. And honestly, Stand By Me may be number 2. I really like that movie.
I know what I'm going with my favorite, the fucking
Running Man. Yeah. All right.
I kind of thought you were going to go Carrie for a second. but I should have known better.
I knew it. So cool. That's it for Stephen King. What have we been watching?
I can go first. I didn't watch anything this week.
You suck.
Yeah, I finished the second half of Downton Season 3, and God, what a sad season. Like,
Talk about a gut punch of an ending.
Man, they kill all your favorite characters. Yep. And there is one point in the show after one of the major characters die, and they say, that was the sweetest person in the house. And it's absolutely true. You took the nicest person, the nicest character in that show, and you're like, oh, we're going to kill them. And we're going to keep their shitty husband around.
It really got me in the feels.
Yeah.
It really did. That's one of the few moments I remember because it's how it all happened.
And then
heartbreaking.
there is like a gut-punching ending to that season. I'm excited to keep watching. I really wanted to watch Endgame this week, but God, it's hard to block out 3.5 hours for that fucking movie.
It's fair.
I did watch Endgame, and even though we've done 2 full episodes
What a
on
transition.
Endgame, I'll talk about Endgame for a second. Here's my main takeaway from my second time of watching Endgame. I just think Ian's wrong that Ian doesn't like it. I'm not.
Well,
I mean,
spoiler, I also watched Endgame this week.
right?
And doubling down, the first hour and a half of that movie is fucking a lot of sad people rooms. But when you hate Cap on your left, that 20 minutes is the best 20 minminutes on film. Like that
Right.
Infinity War scene. So that's why y'all like it. It leaves you with a good feeling.
I just think maybe you need therapy about this. Because I mean, I'm not. If this is someone I genuinely believe that they didn't like it, I would be like, well, different people can have different opinions about things. That's why we have fucking podcasts.
Yeah.
But I know you very well, and I think you like this movie. Something just went wrong.
It's got some soap opera elements when I watch it again. Like there's a mirror when they bring Tony back with Captain Marvel, and fucking Captain America sitting there with his fucking razor, with his fucking tank top, just staring at a mirror. Like he looks like a male model in that movie. Like
It does look very sexy.
I mean, it's not as bad as it was in Winter Soldier. There's a really gratuitous tank top.
There's another
muscle
part where
shot.
Tony comes back and he's invented the time travel bracelet.
Right.
And he's just fucking posted up in a fucking leather jacket. He looks ridiculous. Okay,
I have to backtrack here with you on this because every Captain America movie has this bit. There's the Haley Atwell touches tit scene in First Avenger. There's the grabbing onto the helicopter scene, which is just maximized on his fucking bicep. And don't get me wrong, it gets my dong hard. It's not special to Endgame. It's mandatory in Chris Evans'
it's
contract.
It's more melodramatic. It's so melodramatic the first hour and a half.
Well, the thing I remember from watching it, I felt like the first hour of it was a little too mopey, but this time, a lot of the best bits are in the first hour. There's a lot of comedy.
If you
in the
lost
first
all
hour.
of your friends, would you not be sad?
That's my thing. I think, I know it's a fun fucking superhero series, but we've been doing it for, 10 years and 20 some odd movies. Like, I feel like it's a hard emotional beat for the kind of movie it is, but I feel like it's earned based on all the shit that we've been through with them.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to convince you. What the fuck am I trying to do? You live your life, you like what you like.
But I will agree with what you said. Like, when Captain America's staring down Thanos' whole army, and then, like, Falcon comes out and Black Panther, I get goosebumps every time. Like, I get, like, that's the coolest fucking part of any movie.
Well, that's also the thing. You talked about, it is a dumb movie about super people and talking raccoons and shit like that. But they've really set it up long enough that you really feel for this guy. And man, second time watching it, there were multiple times where I got a little teary. Like when it's emotional when he says on its left. It's emotional when Tony dies.
It is still ridiculous that Black Panther and Hawkeye take turns trying to not kill the other one. Like, I want to die. No,
Widow.
I'm going to save
Black
you.
Widow.
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
Widow.
Like, I mean, there are parts in that movie that are just like, I don't know. It just
they're
didn't
best
hit me the
buddies.
right.
They want to save each other.
But they could have just fucked it up and both died.
Also, I won't get in on this in the podcast, but I after watching it a second time, I can defend its time travel logic. Unless they fuck it up in subsequent movies, the time travel logic makes sense in this movie.
The only thing I would say about the Black Widow part is they set all of Infinity War in the first hour and a half of Endgame to make you believe Hawkeye, in that scene, you're like, Hawkeye's going to die.
Right.
And the only way that switch works and makes Black Widow die is like spending 5 minutes for them to spend on their friendship and how much they love each other to make that turn work. Because the lazy thing to do is kill Hawkeye in that
Definitely.
moment.
I just think Hawkeye should have Black Widow should have just killed herself, but they shouldn't have, like, taken turns, tried to killing themselves, and the other one, it was a little ridiculous.
After watching it, I think in the solo series, Hawkeye's single. I think he's too fucked up from everything that happens, and he gets a divorce.
Yeah. As long as he keeps the
I don't know.
fucking
I love
sleeve
Linda
tattoo.
Cardellini.
I mean, I don't think it'll stand. You know what I'm saying? I think
he's still going to have to pick up his kids.
But
Okay, fair point.
But I think they'll do the him living alone in an apartment storyline from the Fraction Aja run, just because that's the most popular run with him, and he's in a spot right now where it would be believable that he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I softened a little bit because the part with Thanos, that battle is fucking cool.
You just said you doubled down like fucking 5 seconds
I
ago.
softened a little bit, but I
doubled down
still
on the
don't.
first half.
Yeah, the first half is not good. It's just not. It's soap opera-y and sad, and it's kind of boring. It's a lot of people in rooms talking that are sad.
Well, I'm going to watch it this week, damn it, just so we can argue about it again next week.
Next week, I'll defend the time travel logic.
Yeah.
When you bring it up,
That sounds good. Anything else?
Nothing. No.
Nothing else.
Well, that took up all his free time.
That's fair. I mentioned it on the news podcast. I've been still going through the Marvel's Wolverine, the podcast. One of the things I like about it is they do a surprisingly good job. One of the main characters, especially in the latter half, is a mutant called Mastermind, whose whole thing is fucking illusions and tricking people into believing different realities are true, which seems like it would be hard to communicate on a podcast, but they do it really fucking well.
Right on.
So I just wanted to go out and give props. And Richard Armitage, in my opinion, as Wolverine, I love the idea of Richard Armitage as Wolverine. First season, little spotty. Second season, much better. I really like him.
My thing was, I think he has the look. I think you said
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
when we did our fan cast. And I listened to the first season of this podcast, and I wasn't blown away. I thought it was fine. But always the accent on screen has always been my big apprehension. You think he gets it?
I think he does better in the second season. I've still been watching Hard Knocks, which is good. John Gruden's a little bit crazier in the second episode. I'm looking forward to the third episode.
So it is good because I hear it's very fluffy this year. They cut a lot. You could tell the Raiders aren't letting them have access because they're not talking about Antonio Brown a lot, and it's I don't know. That's what I read.
Yeah, they're not spending the whole episode on it. They'll spend segments on it, but it'll be one segment on Antonio Brown, and then they move on because there's nothing to do because he's not at fucking camp.
Yep. You think they're going to be good this year?
No, fuck no.
Okay.
God no. I just think they do such a good job of crafting stories for Hard Knocks. It just blows me away every year. Even when there's not objectively as much of story as there have been in previous years.
I mean, you have said before one of the things that is that restriction drives creativity, and the fact that they craft such an interesting a documentary about these teams in 4 weeks.
And in real time, they don't know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
It's amazing
incredible.
to me. It blows me away every year. And then I finished the first season of Assassination Classroom. It's really good. It's funny because the premise is, again, sentient octopus creature threatens to destroy the planet in a year, but in the meantime teaches a middle school class where the middle school students are allowed to try to kill him every day. That's the premise. It's ridiculous, but the thing is, they do really kind of standard. I don't know, kind of standard sitcom premises on a weekly basis, but just in this ridiculous world, and it's still novel and fun, and it's good humor. It's kind of aware of itself. The only problematic-y issue, and I just wonder if it's a language thing. They have a language teacher who's supposed to be a blonde bombshell assassin to teach them. Her whole thing is seduction. It's a very these are comics for young boys.
Right.
This is fan service. But she has a Russian name Slavinovich or something, but they play on the fact that Japanese people don't make a big difference between V's and B's, so she's just Miss Bitch. the whole time, and it gets a little uncomfortable at times. But I have to imagine it plays differently in Japanese. I don't know.
I mean, that seems like it could be problems on a lot of levels.
Yeah, it's not great, but
that seems like, I don't know, like 2008 South Park shit or something.
Yeah. Anyway, it's still, I really like the show. I think it's cleverly done. I'm actually just going to hold off watching the second season and start over again with my wife later.
Awesome.
So, what do you got, Ian?
I watched Avengers. I already butted in on her side. The other thing I watched is I had a Best Buy gift card in my wallet for like a year, so I bought a DVD. And I bought Into the Spider-Verse.
All right.
God, that movie's fucking
It's really good.
It really is.
Animation's great. I like the music, which I didn't remember the first time. Like when Peter Parker dies, that song's really good. Kind of made me hit the feels. Yeah, totally. I don't know. For a movie about a whole bunch of Spider-Man, it's fresh, which I can't explain how they do that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But I love my favorite bit is like whenever a new character comes on, they go, all right, we're going to do this one more time. And they just do the origin.
Right.
But if you haven't seen it, check that shit out. It could be my favorite cartoon.
I watched it again on Spider-Man Day recently, and what I noticed this time, like, it's one of those things, there's so many cool things going on that you sometimes miss a thing because you're laughing at the last thing.
Yeah.
And I had missed really how awesome Nicolas Cage is in that.
Yeah.
He's so
He's really
great.
good.
It's a comic book. Like the animation is like a comic book. They need to do more movies like that.
It's the best looking.
Yeah, no, the animation itself is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
I like to prop up Liev Schreiber in that movie because he's
Yeah.
the most
Oh.
hard to distinguish at all.
Yeah, secondary point, I need to give props to Liev Schreiber in Hard Knocks for doing Hard Knocks for the last 20 fucking years.
Wait, Liev Schreiber?
Liev Schreiber is the narrator for Hard Knocks.
No way.
Yeah. And
Huh.
and it has been doing it since the get-go. He only didn't do one season where Paul Rudd did it. I haven't seen that one. I want to see it.
Was it the Chiefs?
I don't know which year it was.
With Herm Edwards.
But-
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
I will say on Liev Schreiber, the only credit I will give X-Men Origins Wolverine is I like his saber tooth.
Yeah,
He-
it's
and
a
he
more interesting...
really- all the people in that movie, he really wants it to be good.
Yeah.
He's trying so hard to make it good.
Watch Ray Donovan. I've watched that. Very good Liev Schreiber show.
Nice. I'm glad we spent 2 minutes raving about Liev Schreiber.
Hey, you know what? He deserves more of your time.
He does. I started it, but
But I think that's it for this week. What are we doing next week?
I don't know.
More topics. Who fucking knows?
Try to see a movie, but it's probably going to be shit.
You can watch Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah, never mind. Let's do another topic.
Yeah, I'll do another topic. So please rate and subscribe and tell your friends. Word of mouth, telling people is really the best way for us to get new listeners and to expand our reach and have other people enjoy the sound of our dulcet tones every week.
Rate the podcast on iTunes. That's how they supposedly get higher rankings.
Gotta milk those stats.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, if you want to get in touch with us, if you'd like to send in Stephen King movies that we probably haven't seen that you want us to talk about, let us know at realphonies@gmail.com and on realphonies at Facebook and Twitter. And you can also follow us on our Instagram at real_phonies. Thanks to Zach Emmett and Brian Velasquez for our theme. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.